Hey guys, we don't get too serious usually on this show, but there is an organization that really could use your help. It's called Color Me Love. It's Color, Colour. And you can actually check out the website, colormelove.com. And what they do is provide a lifeline to children who need hope and healing. They turn trauma into transformation, and every child's story of healing is heard and honored. It's more than just a program, though. It promises every child is not alone in their struggles. So how does a contribution actually help the children? It builds a safe and welcoming facility or haven. It purchases art supplies, equipment, and other therapeutic materials. It funds professional counseling services. It covers the cost of daily essential needs-based items. It ensures ongoing support and development of their programs and the safety of their community. I mean, what better cause could you donate to? Again, it's called colormelove.com. It's COLOUR melove.com. They also have a GoFundMe. I'll put the link to the GoFundMe in the description notes of this show. If you want to make a contribution, again, you can go to the GoFundMe link or directly to colormelove.com. Again, guys, this is an organization that is absolutely worth your time and any donation that you can spare. It's going to the best cause possible. So check them out, colormelove.com.
This is WWE superstar Drew McIntyre, and you're listening to the WWE Podcast.
The champ is the one that everybody wants, me. Becky Lynch is going to WrestleMania. Claymore! Austin 316 says I just whipped your ass. This is my iron. You're going to acknowledge me.
Welcome to the current state of WWE. Anthony DeMarco is with me, as always, every single Monday night as Raw is going on as we speak. So we're going to tackle a topic at this time that is on the minds of a lot of people. Now, I know this is a topic that seems to be over-discussed or over-analyzed, but you haven't heard Anthony and I together yet, right? So that's the new part of it. But we also haven't deep dived into this yet. With The Rock and his babyface character versus the heel character. We're going to get into that and some other things. But man, oh man, we are on the road to WrestleMania in a big way, and one of the most bizarre kind of twists and turns that we've seen in WWE in the last, I don't know how many years, with The Rock coming back and turning heel. I don't think anyone saw that coming. But here we are. Anthony, how you doing?
Not too bad, man. And you're right. Obviously, they pulled the handbrake. They called an audible, whatever analogy you want to use. But as someone, and I believe I've said it with you, that as someone who is a massive Rock fan, but has criticized the Rock promos and the Rock character when he has come back pretty much for the last 10 years. Like, if you copy paste the last, 8 Rock promos, going back to his promo against Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 32, and no, I'm not counting his match against Eric Rowan, they've pretty much all been cut from the same cloth. They've pretty much all been the same formula. Comes out, makes fun of the guy, does his greatest hits, and then lays the smackdown on them. And I've always said, like, if you're going to come back, be The Rock. Don't be Dwayne Johnson. And it seems that since his full-time-ish run in 2012, 2013, he's pretty much come back and been The Rock, but like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Like, coming back wearing his own Under Armour line, no sunglasses, always like kind of being more jokey and stuff, always smiling, which is okay. But now we're seeing The Rock, and even just his attire, paying homage to the Hollywood heel version with the vest, but the 2000 corporate Rock version with the oversized Gucci shirt, obnoxious $500, whatever it is, and running down the crowd. And it's so great to see, because you've seen in interviews with Brian Gewirtz, The Rock's personal writer for $7 Production, who used to be the head writer for Monday Night Raw. And he's always said that he believed that the Hollywood heel version of The Rock was the best version. And it was one that didn't get enough legway or traction because it was only around. That version of The Rock was only around from February of 03 to April of 03. In his final full-time run with the company, ultimately putting over Goldberg at Backlash 2003. But now we get to see The Rock for the first time in well over 10 years, I would say. And it's absolutely amazing. And to be honest, like, a lot of people are complaining and debating, well, this wasn't what they were going for. They did want to do Rock Roman, they had to adjust I don't care. I really do not care, because at the end of the day, this is what was for the best. And I love what we're getting. And it feels like, you've mentioned it, The Rock is in it for the long game. And we are eventually going to get to Rock versus Roman. But if we get to see a heel version of The Rock, not just Dwayne The Rock Johnson, I'm all here for it.
Well, that was a good summation of it. It's infinitely more entertaining, and I'm still a babyface Rock fan, but you're right. Everything from the appearance he made on Fox when they first made their SmackDown move to Fox, when he took out Baron Corbin, to the latest of Jinder Mahal, all these kind of throwaway, toss-away heels that aren't going to be in a program with The Rock. They're there to just be the butt of the joke and take a people's elbow or rock bottom, and it's still entertaining. Don't get me wrong, but there is kind of a staleness to it. And I hate saying that. I sound like a spoiled wrestling fan, but there's a staleness to it where it's still fun and cool, but no, I wish there were more. And now we're getting it. So, if this is a pivot, and you and I believe it is, we can all thank the Cody Crybabies for this version, because this was not in the plans. This was not something that the WWE decided that they were going to do, is come in and have everybody get on Twitter and there's going to be this big movement. If they orchestrated that, I mean, you and I talked about this before. I mean, if they did, I mean, they're masterminds to have that many variables in place to hope that the fans create this movement, to create this hashtag, to get the fans to not only get angry on Twitter, but then get angry in person and boo The Rock and Rocky sucks chants. That's a big gamble if they're really, if we're pretending that was by design. But you and I don't think it is. It's beside the point, though, because the Cody Crybabies have allowed us to see the best version of The Rock. And it's to the point where when he comes out, even though he gets booed when he runs down the crowd is so entertained now by what they see with those $500 shirts, kind of a nostalgic feel that we haven't seen since 2003 when Goldberg took him down and he went back to Hollywood, and he's been kind of here, there, and back ever since. But it's been infinitely more entertaining. He also has more freedom as a heel, and you'll hear that from anybody, that as a heel, there's not a lot of lines you need to stay within. So he can't just come back and be, oh, there's Dwayne. He used to play The Rock, which is how we felt. That it's Dwayne playing a character that we felt really invested in. And now he can't do that. As a heel, you can't be half-assed on this. He has to go all in, and he is. So to me, yeah, this is great. I love the fact that, he's coming out there, and sure, he may be dropping hints. We'll get into that about whether or not he's going to turn a little bit later. But right now, this babyface character that he's transformed into a heel, I mean, coming out, it's almost a term of endearment. Like if I'm in the crowd and he's pointing at some guy telling, hey, fatty, I'll come out there and slap the herpes off your lips or something, like that's hilarious. I mean, I would not get angry and boo The Rock. That is just comedy gold. It's just so vintage. I don't know. I think even though this is a heel version and he's getting boos, I think the crowd is ultimately going to be so entertained by this that it's going to keep him or turn him babyface, whether he likes it or not. I mean, you even heard Rocky chants on SmackDown. So.
Well, yeah, it's because he's coming back and tapping into the nostalgia. Like for guys like you and me, like that promo that he cut was ripped right out of, 21 to 24 years ago. Because even as a babyface, he was always cutting edge, and he really got away from that the last 10 years or so. Like you mentioned, it was always Dwayne coming back to play The Rock because, oh yeah, that's how he made his name 15, 20, 25 years ago. But he finally channeled just The Rock. And not to say that he has to be a heel. Like I remember his first promo when he came back on Valentine's Day 2011. Like that was The Rock, but he was a babyface, but he stayed in the Rock character. And now it's like he had gone away from it because the more that he got popular in Hollywood, and I understand it's a PG product and you have to maintain the persona that you're building up in the Hollywood scene. Like I completely get it. but it really kind of dumbed it down. Like the last two promos before this with Jinder Mahal and Austin Theory, you could copy and paste those and they were the same thing. Same thing with Becky Lynch and Baron Corbin from 2019, or from with Rusev back in 2013, or whatever it was. Like it was always the same formula. And I get it, but it was just like, I don't want to see that. I want to see The Rock be The Rock. If you're going to come back and, like reprise the character, then do it properly. And he wasn't doing that as a babyface. And to be fair, we didn't know. It seemed like he is in it for the long game. So maybe if the Cody Crybabies wouldn't have revolted the way they did, perhaps we would have seen The Rock really reprise the role of a babyface, but in that cutting edge character. But either way, we're getting a version of The Rock that is back from in the day. And look, does that mean that he has to be stuck back in the late 90s, early 2000s? For sure not. But like one thing that I liked about him is that he just told the truth. It's like, and I believe you mentioned this on Twitter, is that he literally said, just like, you guys had it in the palm of your hands, a main event that would have been one of the biggest WrestleMania, and you flushed it down the toilet. And that's funny because it's true. And he literally kept saying, you boo because it's true. And like you said, it's going to just inherently become endearing with The Rock acting this way, because it's going to make people realize, like, man, this is why the WWE wanted to bring him back and shoehorn him into a main event role, because when he's on, there's few that are better.
Yes. And the biggest key, I think, that you mentioned here that I think everyone should really understand is when Dwayne Johnson comes back, whether it's a babyface or a heel, it has been since the time that he left. Really, the last time in 2004, he came back for a quick stint with the Rock and Sock Connection at WrestleMania 20. And then ever since then, I mean, like you said, he came back in 2011 after that on Valentine's Day, of which I was on a date. I was very angry that I missed it. I'm still saucy about that. But my biggest thing, though, is that, and again, everybody should understand the investment in a character when you come back needs to be authentic. And it hasn't been really for the longest time. And it feels like, again, it's Dwayne playing a character forever. It felt like that, him coming back as a babyface. And now with him as a heel, it feels much more like this is almost like who he is, which is kind of more hilarious, saying that your life has meaning now that I'm here. And running down the trailer park trash line. I haven't heard him say trailer park trash, and I mean, like 15 years. So that line was a throwback. And there were some other ones I can't remember off the top of my head, but the dropping the ball was a big key moment for me, because it's exactly what it was. I'm like, yes, you fools dropped the biggest main event that we could have seen. Now we're still going to get it at some point, probably in the next year. But it is true that the movement on Twitter that translated into in person has completely shifted the plans and has dropped the ball for this year. So that was absolutely true. And I don't know, a couple things, how you feel about this. Number one, how do you feel about a change in music? He so far has kept his traditional music that he has as a babyface, and the people still react very positively to it. But do you think he should go back to the Hollywood entrance that only got 3 months to really showcase itself? Or do you think that would really, because people will be so nostalgic for it, make it actually a even bigger reaction, or maybe a different version altogether? So that's the first question.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I've never liked this current version of his theme. I know he's used it since 2011 when he first returned on Valentine's Day that you just alluded to. But for his babyface themes, I always liked the ones that he used in the early 2000s. Either The Rock Says, where it's kind of like repeating throughout the song, that he actually restarted using when he returned at WrestleMania 20 to team with Mick Foley, and his several returns that followed in that year against like Coach and La Resistance and the Diva Search and all that. And then the other one was the one he used in like 2001 to 2002 when he came out against Hulk Hogan. So this version with like the heavy electric guitar, I've never been a super big fan of. So for that alone, I wouldn't be opposed to changing it. Now, I do think that, like you've mentioned this before, when you change characters that heavily and you go to a heel, like, or a babyface, like sometimes the song needs to change. Now, sometimes, look, it could work both ways. Like Drew McIntyre, I think, has a theme song that works both ways. Kevin Owens works both ways. Triple H works both ways. Kane works both ways. But then even look at Steve Austin. He changed to the Disturbed version, where like you had like an actual song playing in the back. I think it was actually called Glass Shatters. And you've had The Rock change his theme song in the past as well. And I think if you go back to either like, do you smell what The Rock is cooking when he was in a corporate setting, or just the Hollywood heel version where it was just a very slowed down version, it would make a lot of sense, because you have to kind of really lean into it. And it's almost like a Pavlovian response, if I'm pronouncing that right, that when you hear "if you smell," the crowd is just by default going to pop. And they did this past Friday on SmackDown. And I think that that's why 10 or 11 years ago at this point, they shifted it to that old theme of like the helicopter, like scouring. I guess it was Los Angeles. And then you just heard "it's cooking." And then it just went into that slow, deep drop of The Rock's version of the new theme. And I think he actually debuted that at No Way Out in Montreal 11 years ago. So I think just for that, to avoid the Pavlovian response of "if you smell," it would be in everyone's best interest to shift his theme song.
I'm all for it. I mean, I think that, like you said, it is warranted sometimes. In this big of a heel turn, I think it's almost necessary, especially given we don't know how long the heel run's going to go. It could go through WrestleMania, and then he'll turn babyface again. It could go longer. It could go all the way to the end of next year before he, presumably faces Roman at WrestleMania 41. We don't know. But if there is any kind of longevity to this, and you want people to really buy in, that's another signal that that WWE usually sends when it's a big turn, is changing in music. There are, like you said, there are theme musics that don't need to change. You don't need to create theme music for every single heel turn and babyface turn. I mean, my God, how many versions would there be? I mean, Big Show, think about that. I mean, he'd had like 41 versions of his song.
Or Kane.
Or Kane, right? So obviously not, but there are certain times that it kind of puts an exclamation point behind the turn. And I think this is one. And I think fans would also really enjoy it. And especially if this is the only chance we're going to get to see The Rock as a heel, which I believe this is probably it for this run. I don't anticipate after this heel run, however long it goes, that we're going to see The Rock as a heel again. I very much doubt it, because this is something unexpected, but I think it's going to be very successful. So that was my first question. The other one is, were you bothered by, excuse me guys, I'm still battling a cold. I'm almost done with it. But the fact that the Rock was insinuating that Cody Rhodes just decided to face Roman Reigns, and he felt he had the right to, and just completely either forgot, which is possible, or he purposely did it to piss off the fans, that Cody didn't just decide he has the right. He earned it by winning the Rumble. The Rock didn't even acknowledge the fact that Cody Rhodes won the Rumble. I mean, how does that get skipped? So do you think did it bother you? And do you think it was by design, or did The Rock completely miss that point? Hey guys, we don't get too serious usually on this show, but there is an organization that really could use your help. It's called Color Me Love. It's Color, COLOUR. You can actually check out the website, colormelove.com. And what they do is provide a lifeline to children who need hope and healing. They turn trauma into transformation, and every child's story of healing is heard and honored. It's more than just a program, though. It promises every child is not alone in their struggles. So how does a contribution actually help the children? It builds a safe and welcoming facility or haven. It purchases art supplies, equipment, and other therapeutic materials. It funds professional counseling services. It covers the cost of daily essential needs-based items. It ensures ongoing support and development of their programs and the safety of their community. I mean, what better cause could you donate to? Again, it's called colormelove.com. It's COLOUR melove.com. They also have a GoFundMe. I'll put the link to the GoFundMe in the description notes of this show. If you want to make a contribution, again, you can go to the GoFundMe link or directly to colormelove.com. Again, guys, this is an organization that is absolutely worth your time and any donation that you can spare. It's going to the best cause possible. So check them out, colormelove.com.
For me, honestly, I didn't even acknowledge it because I was just so encapsulated by his promo, which I really, really liked. One of his best promos he's done in probably the last 10 years. And I'm just going to go ahead and assume it's because he was just disregarding the Rumble victory. And in his mind, The Rock, Roman Reigns, and the Bloodline is more important than anything relating or within WWE. That's the way I'm going to take it. I think that they've paid more attention to detail under Triple H, and I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I just think that it was trying to further insinuate and place his character in the stratosphere of just not giving a you-know-what. And no matter what they think or what others think or what other matches mean or what anything means, titles, pay-per-views, whatever, the Bloodline takes precedent. So that's the way I took it, just because that was pretty much the entire point of the promo, was just to really drive home that The Rock believes that his family and that faction with Roman Reigns is the most important thing in professional wrestling, because he used professional wrestling several times.
Yes, I'm. You know what? I'll buy that, and I won't even call out WWE for that kind of loophole. Maybe they'll bring it up, but it's not going to bother me. The only thing that I would say bothers me is really on the Cody side. I'm not trying to dive into Cody. You and I could, but it's more of just his character. How about let's just focus on the story, not rather his babyface character that you and I seem to just delve into every time. And that is, are you bothered by the fact on the Cody Rhodes side that he never explained to the fans, his character never did, why the hell he decided to switch from, which was presumably Seth to, and allowing The Rock to come in and take his place to Seth Rollins. And the fact that he just said to us, well, it's because of you, which is a whole BS answer. It's because of you guys. It's like, no, I've said this before. It's not because of us, because if it was, it would be this sudden blast movement for Cody Rhodes. No, the fans have been asking for this for like 2 years. I mean, he's been getting very much sustained support for 2 years now since WrestleMania 38. So, I mean, that's a nonsense excuse that they're just glazing over and they're not even bothering it. I mean, that's a big thing to just say, hey, I'm the Royal Rumble winner. I'm saying on camera that's the belt I want, but I don't want it at WrestleMania. Well, wait a minute. You're not going to tell us what made you decide to pick Roman Reigns? To me, I don't care if it's Cody Rhodes or whoever. Like, that's a pretty big gap. And like, what the hell, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think that just further shows that they did have to pull the handbrake and call an audible here. That they have been kind of doing damage control, no pun intended, for how long ago did they call an audible on this? Has it been 2 weeks or close to it?
Yeah, close to it, yeah.
So they've had more or less 3-ish shows. I guess if you count the press event, I guess it's 4 shows. They've had to kind of really deal with this backlash. And I think for them, they're thinking that, what else can they do in the meantime before they kind of address that there's a clear plot hole here? Because that's a major plot hole. Like, why did Cody just completely pull a 180? And maybe we'll never get that answer. Maybe for them, him just rethinking about it. Because to be fair, no, I guess he did say just not at WrestleMania, right? He flat out said that he wasn't going to challenge Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. And we never did get a full response from him. So, like, I'm waiting for that, because was he not supposed to be on SmackDown this past week?
I thought they advertised him, but then either things got switched or it's very possible that I misread what the advertisements were for the following week SmackDown. I thought they said Cody was going to be there, or he was rumored to be there, but then all of a sudden I see, well, will Cody Rhodes interrupt the Rock segment? And I'm like, oh, well, maybe he's not advertised. I can't say for sure. Maybe I totally misread it.
Well, so for me, like, I'm maybe on Monday Night Raw tonight, we're going to get that explanation. They're clearly slow burning this 100%. And I think that they should do it. Maybe he's going to explain it on the Grayson Waller effect at Elimination Chamber in Australia. Like, but at the same time, WWE has a history for just letting things go by the wayside. And maybe they're hoping that the Rock star power and Roman Reigns and all this is enough to just make fans forget about it. But a simple explanation could be of what Cody kind of said, but elaborate on that it is for you guys. Like, you guys made me realize that this was more important than shelving this and paving the way for The Rock. Like, there's a lot of ways that you could make this story even deeper. And maybe they eventually go that way, because he's already alluded to the fact that he did it for the fans. So maybe slowly but surely he'll peel back that onion and he'll be like, I did it for you guys because you made me realize that nobody wants to see all bloodline all the time, and this is more important, and The Rock manipulated me. So I'm going to hold out hope that that's the angle they're going to go towards, just because they somewhat alluded to it already.
It's a low bar that they have to cross here for me, because I'm still coming off of the Vince McMahon major plot hole stories. They never tell you why things happen. I'm still not happy about the fact that they never told us why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes, and they had like a 6-month program with like 3 matches or so, and they never told us. And I'm still like, that kind of crap. No explanation. Just go, the fans don't care. They're big enough stars. So I have a very much low bar, and it's possible they just glossed over it and go, the fans, it's good enough for them. They don't care. They just want to see the match. It's possible that they just completely ignore it, and that was their non-answer last week. So for you and I mean, I'd like to know. It's a pretty easy thing, like you said, to explain. But in part 2 of this conversation is a lot of people talking about this promo that The Rock cut, and really looking at the signs, the potential signs of him turning on Roman Reigns. The 2 biggest were him holding up almost an L, not a 1, but an L at the end of his segment. And number 2, when he said that he's going to make you come out of WrestleMania a loser.
The camera work.
Yes. So it could have been, and I looked at several angles. It does look like he's pointing in Roman Reigns' direction. So that could have been a hint. Those 2 things. There were some other things about, we're going to end your story, and ours is just beginning, meaning his and Roman's is just beginning. I don't know. I mean, there were a few things that really it's evidence if you really are hunting for it. So do you think this was purposeful? I mean, it's really difficult for him with The Rock. How do you screw up just putting up 1 finger and you do an L? That's a pretty big difference. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, it's a very weird Easter egg. Like the loser sign was pretty apparent, would you not say?
Yes. So
the camera work thing is more or less like you could take it one way, you could take it another, but it was, for me, it was the loser L thing. That to me was the one that was really apparent, that I don't know what that was about, because why would you point up a loser L when everyone around you is doing the 1? So I think they are 100% laying groundwork here that he's going to turn on Roman Reigns at some point. I'm not sure if it's in the best interest of them to do it at WrestleMania, because I feel like people will maybe revolt and be like, oh, like Cody had to do it on his own. And you've kind of touched on it, that if there is interference, you would have to do it without John Cena or Steve Austin or whoever actually hitting Roman Reigns himself. Like, you have to make it like a clean victory for Cody Rhodes. But that's why I'm kind of hesitant to kind of think like, man, they're really going to do this at Mania. But there clearly are signs that they are laying the groundwork for a Rock babyface turn against Roman Reigns eventually.
That seems to be the case. That's a pretty big mistake if it's not. I can't look at it as a mistake. There's no way that somebody like The Rock is going to miss a 1 instead of an L. I mean, it's just, if that's a mistake, that's a hilariously bad mistake, but I think it is not, and it's purposeful, and it has a reason for it. And what does that L mean? Loser, obviously, right? I mean, we all know what the L is, but it could mean something else, I guess. Maybe it'll go back to the golden Easter egg somehow. Who knows? I think it is him saying that Roman Reigns is going to be a loser. I mean, I guess if you're really digging for it. But yeah, I would agree. I would say I don't want The Rock to just out of nowhere help Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania win the belt. Like, hit a Rock. The worst possible situation is Cody Rhodes is in peril. The Rock takes out the Bloodline, gets in the ring, refs down, hits a rock bottom, and then Cody Rhodes covers Roman Reigns for the victory. I mean, that would be horrific for Cody Rhodes' title victory. I mean, you talk about the fans. I think that would anger the Cody fans more than if The Rock was in a triple threat with Roman Reigns, because then it's just saying like you need The Rock as a crutch to beat Roman Reigns, and that's awful. It's possible, but that is the worst possible outcome for this match.
Well, and not just that, then it would further fuel the Cody crybabies into thinking that The Rock is an attention-seeking you-know-what and shoehorning his way right into the thick of things. Like, I think, for my mind, it would have to be something along the lines of the night after, but I even think that it should be the Bloodline turning on The Rock. Like, yes. I think it should be, like, the Bloodline ousting The Rock and throwing him off to the side to really expedite this babyface turn for him. Just because, in my mind, like you just said, there's just so many variables that could go wrong and so many things that could be taken poorly if The Rock is the one to help Cody Rhodes. Because then, like you said, Cody needed a crutch. And even more so than that, people are going to be like, what? Is The Rock going to hold up Cody's arm and like symbolically like crown him the champion? Like, I don't think that would be terrible, but given the nature of the Cody crybabies, for a lack of a better term, I really think that would be a very big danger zone for WWE to go down. So for me, I think it 100% it's indicating that a babyface turn is coming, which is kind of good, right? Because at the end of the day, we know for guys like you and me who are proponents of Rock versus Roman, it more or less like 100% ensures that we're going to get that down the line somewhere. But I just hope they don't do it at WrestleMania in a fashion that means, or that kind of shows that Cody needed that crutch.
Yeah, especially with a title change this monumental, you can't have the person beat Roman in any kind of weird way. It has to be clean, which is why when I've proposed whether a John Cena or an Austin comes out, and again, it's still insane to say, but you could have Austin stun The Rock in 2024. Not a program, just a single stunner. Now, what Austin's motivations are for being in the match, I don't know. I mean, like, I haven't gone that far, but it's very possible. But leaving things on even keel, like the Bloodlines now neutralized Austin and or John Cena, neutralize things, and you have just Cody and just Roman in the ring. So there's no possible argument of, well, see, Roman Reigns got hit with an AA, he got hit with a stunner. No. It has to be all Cody 100%. Now, that's a possibility, but I also think it's possible that at WrestleMania, like you said, the Bloodline turn on The Rock. And after Cody wins, maybe Roman Reigns starts shoving The Rock. They all start beating down the Bloodline. Bloodline starts beating down The Rock. Now he's the sympathetic character. Cody fans are all happy now because, hallelujah, the reign is over. And Cody's your champion. He has his moments. So he has maybe 5-10 minutes in the ring to celebrate. And then after that is when you see The Rock get beat down and just brutalized by the Bloodline. And then maybe he, comes back at the Monday Night Raw after and challenges Roman to next year's WrestleMania. No title. So at that point, all the fans should be reunited against Roman or against Roman and with The Rock, because there's no title, which was the whole catalyst for this problem. So I think that's a way you could do it.
Well, even better, like, do we remember The Rock versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18? I'm sure we all do. One of the most historic matches of all time. How did that match end? And Hulk Hogan was a heel, at least going in. He loses, and then he shakes The Rock's hand. They embrace. NWO comes out, beats down Hogan. The Rock comes back to the ring, beats down NWO side by side with Hogan, and then they embrace each other. Yeah. Could you not have something where Cody wins? Afterwards, the Bloodline beats down The Rock in anger. Cody comes back to the ring, puts him even more over as a babyface by fighting off the Bloodline side by side with The Rock. And then you have the embrace, kind of like a full circle moment where they had the embrace when The Rock first came out. Then they feuded with The Rock turning heel, and then it comes full circle to close WrestleMania. That you have The Rock kind of in an indirect way endorsing the bloodline, but not at the risk of making Cody Rhodes look like he needed help. But you also turn The Rock babyface. You have him endorse Cody. It puts Cody even more over as a babyface by like bringing back a babyface Rock. Like, look, I hate the Cody character, but if I'm booking this, that's the way I'd probably go about it, because it checks all the boxes and appeases all the demographics.
And you get the fans back united against Roman with The Rock behind him, because there's no reason to hate The Rock at that point. That all, like you said, it fits all of the boxes, then fits all the narratives that you want it to fit. I think it's a pretty simple, not overly booked. See, that's what I also don't want in this main event. WWE has had a habit over the years. Now, of course, without Vince, we'll see, but this is Triple H's first full WrestleMania without a McMahon in his ear, and so we'll see. But I could see the main event kind of being overbooked with too many weird things happening, and Solo's out. Oh, here comes Jimmy. Oh, here comes Austin. Here comes John Cena. And all of a sudden it becomes about everything but Roman and Cody. And I hope they don't do that as far as like just overbooking with too many different subplot lines. If you're going to do it, like you said, I mean, the way you laid it out or I laid it out is fairly simple. You have people clear the ring, and it's back to Cody Roman, and then they have a 5 or 10 minute finish where Cody ends up cleanly beating Roman with no question marks, and then you have the turn of the Rock and the back to babyface. Cody fans are elated. Roman's reign is over. Hallelujah. I mean, really, all of us will be happy at that point. Now, the question to you is, as we have 5-10 minutes left here, moving to WrestleMania 41, do you see it now where it has to be almost Rock versus Roman? Like, this has to be set up for WrestleMania 41, right?
No, it has to be. Like, as much as people were upset about how, as The Rock put it, Cody has to finish his story, which is hilarious. But at that point, that box is checked. And The Rock, like I said earlier in the show, he was right. This was a match we all wanted for years, and then we got in, we flushed down the toilet. Now, if we could still get this match, but along the way get a heel version of The Rock, get a better build, put Cody over in a way that he deserves, even though I can't stand him, I could objectively admit that he deserves to go over because of the unwavering crowd support that he's gotten for 24 months, then I'm all for it. But yes, 100%, there's not even a reason to dive too deeply into this. You need to do Rock versus Roman next year at WrestleMania, and then you could do a full year-long build with more substance. Like I always said, that all you had to do was have The Rock come out and go face-to-face with Roman, and the story was written. But if you could write an even deeper story like they're in the process of doing, hey, I'm all for it.
This may be one of the best mistakes of WWE's creative in the last. Really, given the fans and all the support they've made for Cody, and having Rock come out and now turn heel, we're getting to see something we didn't expect to see with The Rock as heel. We didn't know we wanted it until we see it again. So, and then having a proper build instead of just February to April. You could cram in a program there. And sure, we've seen a year-long build before with John Cena and The Rock from WrestleMania 27 to 28, right? Or is it 26? I never remember. But we saw that before. It's doable because you're not talking about it every week. You just kind of remind the fans once a month or so. And there's a video package, or Rock maybe in person, or maybe they go face to face and then they take a month off. And like, you can do it. It's not that they're talking about it and promoting it every single damn week to exhaustion. Of course, promoting a match for 52 weeks is just, at that point, you're just like, I don't even care about this thing anymore. So there's a way strategically to do it over a year. And I have no problem with it. I think they could absolutely do it. It's just, again, the inherent risks that we talked about last week. What if he decides, oh, crap, I got this movie role? What if injury happens to either man, right? Like things that you just don't foresee that could happen. But I think they're willing to take the risk. I'm willing to take it because things seem to be lining up for this year for Cody and hopefully Roman dropping the belt. But that leads me to, I guess, a question for you for this year, though. Do you see The Rock in a match? He keeps talking about wrestling this year, but like, how do you have him in a WrestleMania match? Like, who would he face in an actual match, though, if they do this?
Like, for me, I think it would just be a tag team match that we've seen reported: Rock, Roman versus Seth and Cody. I think that's the direction they're going. Now, the only other thing that I've thought of is if you have him against Randy Orton, because I don't know if Randy Orton has a dancing partner, and maybe Randy Orton wrestles on behalf of Triple H, because we know Triple H can't wrestle because of the defibrillator and his heart issues. But aside from a Randy Orton Rock match, which, I mean, they kind of planted seeds for 10 years or 20 years ago at this point in their one face-to-face encounter. Well, I guess they had several in their tag team match at WrestleMania 20, but their only one where they were one-on-one. That's the only other thing that I could think of aside from them just doing the tag team match that has already been widely reported.
Yeah, that's very possible. I mean, we keep seeing it. The only thing is you'll probably be pissing off a lot of actual talent and fans who are being bombarded by a Roman Reigns double night feature main event where no one else gets the main event, not the world title, not the women. So you're going to be sacrificing a lot of angry talent, but
like we have done for the last 3.5 years at the altar of Roman Reigns.
Right, exactly. So, all right, well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. Do you have any final thoughts or topics or questions before we head out?
All I would say is I'm very interested to see what direction they take the World Heavyweight Championship, which has taken a backseat over the last several weeks.
Right. I mean, even again, Seth Rollins has been a victim of his own title being put on the back burner. So I'd like that to come to the forefront. The Elimination Chamber, obviously, this coming Saturday is going to help answer a lot of the questions. And I don't know about you. I'm kind of hoping for a Drew McIntyre victory there. We'll see. Just because he's been so goddamn brilliant, I would love to see it. So, all right. Well, we'll wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, man. We'll be talking in another 7 and chatting about the Elimination Chamber results.
Looking forward to it, man. Take care.
You too. Hey guys, we don't get too serious usually on this show, but there is an organization that really could use your help. It's called Color Me Love. It's Color, COLOUR, and you can actually check out the website, colormelove.com. And what they do is provide a lifeline to children who need hope and healing. They turn trauma into transformation, and every child's story of healing is heard and honored. It's more than just a program, though. It promises every child is not alone in their struggles. So how does a contribution actually help the children? It builds a safe and welcoming facility or haven. It purchases art supplies, equipment, and other therapeutic materials. It funds professional counseling services. It covers the cost of daily essential needs-based items. It ensures ongoing support and development of their programs and the safety of their community. I mean, what better cause could you donate to? Again, it's called colormelove.com. It's COLOUR. melove.com. They also have a GoFundMe. I'll put the link to the GoFundMe in the description notes of this show. If you want to make a contribution, again, you can go to the GoFundMe link or directly to colormelove.com. Again, guys, this is an organization that is absolutely worth your time and any donation that you can spare. It's going to the best cause possible. So check them out, colormelove.com.
Thanks for listening to the WWE Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you don't miss a show, or head to WWEpodcast.com. And for all of these shows ad-free, head over to patreon.com/WWE Podcast. Until then, we'll see you next time.